Hello, Abigail here with a fresh wax reading for you all. This is a timeless wax reading. I will do an energy check-in, but first, if you notice, we have two candles. I've been getting requests for a minute to do kind of a pick a pile format, kind of like the tarot readings. And so we are going to try this. With the bigger candles, it's kind of a lot of energy because they're like 40 to 30 minutes long if you do the full candle, and I don't want to waste candles by only doing bits of it. And I also kind of feel like each candle is sacred to each reading. But I have my little chime candles. This one looks like it's been eaten, but what we're going to try is we're going to try to do two separate readings with two different bowls, two different energy check-ins, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe this sees the light of day, maybe it doesn't. We'll just see how it goes, how long the candle burns for. You're on this little adventure with me, if you will, to do two ones. But let's get set. You can pick whichever candle you want. You can pick the white candle, you can pick the purple candle. The purple candle will have the clear crystal bowl, and the white candle will have my little pink swirly bowl, if that is something that's important to you. All right, my loves, I will see you at the first reading, which is going to be the purple candle. Hello, bowl number one. This is your candle wax reading. We're going to do an energy check-in to confirm that this is the reading for you. Is it something that everyone seems to enjoy? And then we will get into the primary part of the reading, which is the wax reading. Ooh. Oh, I didn't even introduce what the topic is, which will be on the title header anyways. But this is an ancestral reading. This is a messages from your ancestors. Ooh, 10 of Cups. The Sun. Yeah. Okay. So this group has big dreams, big plans. This group also is very okay, or is in the very least seeking like visibility and seeking some form of like obvious success. So this could be my performers, this could be my folks who run a social media. This group is okay with being seen. Doesn't mean you have to personally be okay with being seen, because I've known some artists and performers who are actually quite introverted, but you are seeking out a path that involves visibility and the highlighting of your personal gifts and skills that then bring in your own personal power and abundance. Another thing is the Seven of Wands. It has been a bit of a struggle. You're feeling a bit stuck. You're feeling a bit worn down. With the Mother of Pentacles, it feels like this group has been putting in a lot of internal work and has been putting it out in the world, but maybe you're not getting the visibility that you would like. Maybe you're not moving forward in the way that you wish, or at the speed that you wish. Yeah, Five of Swords. There's a lot of naysayers, folks kind of doubting you, second guessing you. You might also feel a little lost. So yeah, if you are someone who is pursuing some sort of visibility, if you are, there's also kind of a big energy of Leo in here. There's a big, definitely big Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy in here. So if you all fall into that category, don't have to. But if you align with fire energy, you are someone who is seeking visibility, you are someone who is looking to attain your dreams, and your dreams are on kind of a bigger and bolder level. So this isn't the group that's like, oh, I just want to live a quiet life, which there's nothing wrong with that. I also want to live a quiet life. But you have bigger fish to fry. And it feels like you've been a bit stuck. You don't feel like you have the support, and you also feel like you're missing something. This reading is for you. If this resonates, stick around. If not, pop to the other reading, and I'm going to clear this, and I will see you once the water and bowl are ready. Hello, bowl number one. We have the water ready. I'm going to light up our candle, and we will get into the messages from your ancestors. Okay. Join me on this journey. Let's see how this goes. All right, so instantly we have a crescent moon. So there's something here about your nighttime thoughts and your dreams and desires. And you notice we're getting several little crescents. So the phases of the moon are coming forward, the direction you want to head. Also, this is a confirmation from your ancestors that like a lot of your like inside thoughts, your like ideas and beliefs and like things that you've been working on, those are all good to go. Like you don't have to doubt yourself. You don't need to second guess yourself. We also have a little, what is that? Grapes, which are a sign and a form of abundance. So it's giving very 10 of cups. You know, things are coming in. The things that you were dreaming and hoping, don't give up on them, is what I'm hearing. Also, we have a jellyfish here. There is an element of needing to kind of go with the flow at this moment in time and to slow down and kind of move within the rhythms of things rather than trying to like push and force and move things before they're ready. I'm hearing very distinctly that divine timing is a big deal for you and that it's going to be something very important. We also have a frog here. You know, some of you, I think, are maybe in an environment that isn't really suiting you, like maybe the job you're in or a relationship that you're in isn't really helping you progress. And your ancestors are like, maybe you should get out of that. Maybe you should leave. And I know it's not easy to leave, and there's a lot of reasons why we stay in multiple places, but there is an element of the situation that you're currently in. I'm hearing like a frog in hot water, like it's cooking you. And so definitely an element of needing to like leave or get out of something so that you can carry your dreams forward. Let's see, what else? uh, I'm seeing this like Japanese style tiger here. There is an element of, sorry, my dog just knocked over a bunch of cards. There is an element of bravery and courage and needing to connect to the stories of your ancestors. This might be hard for some folks. I know ancestry discovery can be difficult, but you come from a long line of fighters, and I think you need to really lean into that and believe in that. And also, I think, you know, this is an ancestral reading. Some of you need to do ancestral work. Some of you do need to, you know, get in touch with your lineage and your ancestry as a way to process and move through this kind of stuckness, this kind of energy of not being able to pursue your dreams, of being in a place that you don't really want to be in. Sorry, my dog is being crazy. I apologize. But yeah, there's this element of like being a fighter, tapping into that ancestral power and passion. And when you feel weak, calling on your ancestors to give you help and to give you guidance when it comes to your future plans. What else? What else? Also, there's these kind of like three different points here of this object. It feels like the number three is really important. 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. The number 333 might be something that can be really helpful as like a guiding light. Like if you're doing something and you see 333, it's a confirmation that you're doing the right thing. Okay. Yeah, and it's looking like it's interesting. It's like a figure with really big shoes. You're currently doing something that doesn't fit you. You're currently involved in something that isn't really aligned with your personality and your gifting and your skill set. And so obviously it's not always a direct path to like stopping doing something, but you do need to start planning a move away from whatever you're doing because it is not a fit. And this kind of brighter like passion that we saw in the tarot energy check-in isn't going to happen if you are overwhelmed in doing something that is draining you of all your energy. Yeah, a lot of your ancestors are pretty spicy. They're very like forward thinking. So leave the job, leave the relationship, is what I'm hearing. You will have to let something go in order to bring in the dreams that you are currently dreaming and desiring. Okay, Getting a little toasty on my fingers. We'll see how much longer I can last with the flame. Um, but yeah, it also feels like we're pretty scattered. So doing a practice for like a week or so, I'm hearing of taking a moment of silence, of either listening to like Tibetan singing bowls or zitar or some kind of calming music, just to kind of take time to sit and be with your creative process, even in the chaos of life, is really coming through. Um, yeah, I'm also getting 333 again. That's a really big angel number for you. Um, Trying to put the wax here so I can go as long as possible. Um, there's also this diamond shape. You know, you are precious, you are desirable. I think the ancestors want to affirm that whatever you are doing is valuable and is what you should be pursuing, that whatever that dream, that desire is, and to not give up on it. There's also a balloon here. You are going to have something to celebrate eventually, but those obstacles have to come away first. The things that are in your way currently have to be removed, have to be shifted, have to be transferred, because yeah, the ancestors are like, we can't do too much if you're burning the candle at both ends. We can't do too much if you are investing in stuff you don't care about. Blow that out because of my fingies. And all the wax on my hand and the smoke that turned my fingers gray. Beautiful. Um, Take a look at the wax. Cooled. Yeah, you're being asked to release and let go. Also, this looks very much like a portal, like you're stepping towards a portal. I wouldn't be surprised if there is an opportunity in the near future that is offered to you by your ancestors. What I'm hearing is that you have to step through it. Like they're going to provide everything else. They're going to provide the kind of opportunity and the forward motion, but you have to step into something in the next 3 months in order to seize the opportunities created by your ancestors, in order to do the thing that is going to require bravery. Also, looks like there's people kind of observing. You are going to have to do this whether people agree with you or not. You are going to have to go against the grain. A lot of people are going to disagree with your choices. Um, Anything on this side? Yeah, we also have a lot of little eye shapes in here. You are being like, you are going to feel under scrutiny and you're going to have to do stuff in spite of other people's visions and belief in you. Also, wouldn't be bad for some of you to get like an evil eye bracelet or something, or even just a tiger's eye bracelet to protect yourself. It does feel like there's some folks who don't necessarily have the best intentions, and don't necessarily want to see you win. It's giving very much like someone who like follows like all of your stories, like watches all of your stories on like Instagram and then like never shares them. And like if you're a small business owner, this is the thing. Let's see if there's anything else. There's also this horse head in here. You know, we are in the year of the horse. This is a timeless reading. So even if you're watching this after like late winter of 2027, it still applies. But there is a level of kind of courage and finding your own people that's coming through. You haven't found your own people yet, and that's something the ancestors are kind of impressing upon you, is that like your people, your the people that vibe with you and move at your frequency are out there, but you're kind of stuck right now in a place where you're doing a lot of things because you have to. I'm not saying that, you know, you're like wrong, but you do have to step out of this normalcy. You do have to step out of this. If you want an exceptional life, you have to step out of the everyday kind of cycles and patterns. Otherwise, it's not all lost or anything, but otherwise you will not have an exceptional life. An exceptional life requires exceptional action and requires being on the fringes of things, because not everyone has an exceptional life. And I'm not saying that as in like better than, but a life that is very different than the norm. And that was very much coming through in the energy portion of this reading. that you are someone who is very individual and very different. If you have not already, now the next 3 months is the time to step out of the norm and move into doing things differently and moving as someone who believes and trusts in the value of their work and is also brave enough to pursue it. Anyways, that is what the ancestors have for you, bowl number 1. I hope this was very helpful. I wish you many blessings. If you enjoyed this, please remember to like and subscribe. I am so grateful to all the people who do, and I will see you all later. Bye. Hello, bowl number 2. This is your reading. So we are going to get into the energy check-in for you, and then we will get to your wax reading. I've already done the first one. That was the trial run. The energy moves really fast. So we'll see if I can anchor it a little more this time around. But let me know if you like this format at all. Whatever I'm trying a new format, I'm always like, is this appealing? I'm worried it's a little too fast, quick and dirty, but it's really up to how you guys feel about it. So let me know if you enjoyed having 2 readings to pick from. I might try different candles. But yeah, thank you for coming on this journey, and let's get into the energy reading for this. Who is this for? Oh, and like I forgot to say, this is an ancestral reading. This is a reading from ancestors about what you need to do in this moment. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. I'm still doing this under Mercury retrograde, and everything is very higgledy-piggledy. Okay, so this pile, it feels like you are going through kind of a moment in time when you're dealing with a lot of big personalities, and you're feeling a bit overwhelmed. It also feels like people aren't being super genuine. It also feels like you're a bit conflicted about what you want to do next. It also feels like there's very different parts of you involved. Like there's a very logical, internal, persistent energy that you have. And then there's also this kind of bombastic, forward moving, do it now type energy. And you're kind of like, which one do I do? Do I pick the fast, aggressive energy, or do I move a little slower but still consistent and think about stuff before I do it? Like, is it like now, or is it waiting? And with the 7 of Swords, yeah, you seem to be like holding your breath, waiting for the universe. It's interesting because pile number 1 also got a 7. They just got the 7 of Wands. And I think a part of this is we're already kind of getting a message from the ancestors, which just happens when I do energy check-ins, where they're like, no, we don't care about who this reading is for. But it feels like your ancestors want you to kind of grab the bull by both horns to carry things forward, because the Mother of Swords isn't necessarily slow. She's just careful. And the Father of Wands isn't necessarily rash. He just moves quickly and decisively. And I don't think you have to be at war with this. It also feels like you've been through some really big cycles recently, and that's kind of why you're feeling a bit discombobulated. I'm gonna pull one more because I feel like if you resonate with this so far, then you're pretty good. We'll pull 2 more. Never mind. Yeah, you're looking for a sense of wholeness. You're looking for a sense of direction, for purpose on your next steps. It feels like you're kind of stuck between some ideologies in here and stuck between different desires that come from different experiences that you've had. And what needs to happen is we need to find a way to make this cohesive and whole so that you can move forward. And I think you'll find some answers within the wax portion of this reading, some guidance from ancestors about what to do moving forward. Anyways, if you feel like you are someone seeking answers, if you feel like you are a bit stuck and a bit confused, this is for you. And I will see you in a second once I get the water prepared. Hello, bowl number 2. This is the wax portion of this reading. I'm going to light this baby up. We will get into the messages for clarity from your ancestors. Getting into it, grounding the energy. There's a lemon here. Some of you might be Italian. Specifically Southern Italian or Sicilian ancestry. There's two figures holding hands. It looks like maybe a parent and a child. So specifically for some of you, someone is coming through that you knew during your childhood. Um, they might have known you and your siblings if you have any. And there's an element of care and connection, and also a reminder here that there are answers in your childhood for this path ahead. That there are parts of you that still deserve to be seen and heard from your childhood that hold the key to what you need to do moving forward. We have this like caterpillar shape that has now like turned into a butterfly almost. And so it does feel like you're coming out of a time of growth and a time of kind of not knowing into a time of flight. So the message I'm hearing is that, you know, you're going to get traction soon. Things are going to shift. You're going to find a way forward in this thing that you feel confused and conflicted about. Also, we have like a bear forming out of this. You know, this is determination and resourcefulness and reliability. All of those things your ancestors see and appreciate about you and believe in you. Um, and as it's continuing, it's kind of extending into this path. You're exactly where you need to be, even though it doesn't feel like it. You are right where you're meant to be, even though I think it feels like you've been derailed and you've gotten off the path, but you're still on the same path you've always been on. It just doesn't feel cohesive right now, is what they're saying. And you have been guided. I sense that you're very protected by your ancestors, and a lot of the stuff that you have survived or made it through has been because of their care and their nurture. Let's see, a different perspective on this. This also looks like a seahorse. There is a thing about like paternity and um, connection and care in here. You know, male seahorses take care of the babies and have the babies. And so you don't have to be having babies, but there's an element here of you being both nurturing and caring and also needing to be more forthright, needing to move forward more clearly. Like you have these little ideas that we could call them babies. And they're all there and you're taking care of them. But now we do have to do something with them. Now we do need to move forward with them. This is also an oak leaf here. For some of you, the planet Jupiter or the archetype of Zeus might be important. Um, there's an element of power and strength, and of course Zeus is also associated with lightning, so this very much feels like you might have a lightning strike moment or a moment of sudden clarity in the next little while. I want to ask about timing. Is there anything about timing? I'm hearing 8, so 8 weeks or 8 months. I'm feeling more as like 8 weeks to clarity, 8 months to completion. So like you getting kind of a direction and then it being a journey of 8 months to like really start to see the fruits of this um, clarity, the stuff. I will say if you're very bogged down and you're really struggling with your ancestral connection, the kind of aha moment might take a little longer. Um, give me a moment. We have like a little white flower. The spring might be important. It was looking kind of like a cherry blossom or a peach blossom or a pear blossom. You know, spring might be a very pivotal time for you, a very important time. Also, this feels like spring is coming, like a hypothetical spring, a time of rebirth and a time of growth. Um, Also, you have this triangle shape. You know, things are coming together, things are being set in place. It's only a matter of time, is what I'm hearing. And you don't need to have all the answers to take the first step. I think that's very much giving that kind of Queen of Swords energy, wanting to know before we leap. And that's not going to be given to you, is what I'm hearing very distinctively. Um, Yeah, I'm also, this came through in the first reading, which isn't surprising, but I'm also the image of grapes is coming through. There's an element of abundance and harvest and plenty. It doesn't feel like you're in it right now, but it feels like that is something that is available to you and possible, and something your ancestors really want you to have and want you to be able to experience and participate in. We've also got another figure hugging another figure. If you've been seeking out more connections and more care and you're feeling a bit isolated right now, those are coming in too. And they are kind of part and parcel with this whole kind of knowing what to do going ahead. Like it feels like especially with how connected this is, it feels like your progress in one area very much historically affects the progress in other. And I know that's kind of the same for everyone, but some people can compartmentalize and you absolutely cannot. There's no compartmentalizing in your life. We also have like an aubergine or an eggplant here. You know, for some, it might be you getting some because people use that emoji online for that. But it's also about summer harvest. And we've had the spring imagery and now we're getting the summer imagery. You are going to get things in the right time. Do not think that you are behind time. You are in the right season. You are in the right place, even though it may or may not feel that way. And your ancestors want you to not feel like you've been failing. You've been doing exactly what you had to do. And what I'm hearing is a lot to overcome and a lot to set straight before you could get to a place of forward, like actual forward progression. Blow this before it burns my fingies like the last one did. Still got wax attacked. My wax and got fingers gray from smoke. But yeah, there is this element of you being on the right path, even though it doesn't feel like it, you being where you were meant to be, even though you're like, really? This is where I'm meant to be? Look at the wax. Get some of it off my fingers. Yeah, this looks kind of like a skull. This is a long time coming. Also, the stuff you've been working through isn't just your karma. You are dealing with historical family trauma and setbacks. It feels like a lot of ancestral stuff has been put on your shoulders. And so you're not just completing a cycle for you, you're also completing a cycle for other people. And I know some of you are like, didn't sign up for that. Unfortunately, that's how sometimes family stuff works. What am I seeing here? Oh, there's something they want me to see. Yeah, there's also an element of this kind of looks like a horn. You are also meant to be the one who is open and honest about what you have suffered and what you've endured. You are also, and I know not all of you are going to appreciate hearing this, but I think you already know this, many of you. You are also the one who is going to stand up and push back against cycles of abuse and family members who cause harm. And your ancestors are encouraging you in that. A lot of them are saying that they didn't stand up and do what was right when they were supposed to. And so you're kind of the one to break that silence. We also have someone over here juggling 3 balls. You have been handling a lot and you should give yourself credit for this. And your ancestors want you to know how proud they are. And they're also apologetic for the kind of family stuff they left behind without resolution that you have had to deal with, because it feels like you were dealing with a lot of their residual energy. I do like this. It's like a bridge. You are a bridge between the past and the future. You are bringing the familial timeline over and across this kind of chasm of trauma and avoidance and unhealthy habits, they're saying. And so you should be really proud of yourself and don't see yourself as behind. You are going to flourish. You are going to find your way forward. You just kind of have to keep going and have to keep trusting. But like they said, you kind of have to take the first step without knowing. But I do think you're going to get insight in the next 2 months. That's going to make it a bit easier. You're going to have a better understanding of what's going to work for you going forward. And your ancestors are like, yeah, we know it's not been really fair. We've kind of been asking a lot more from you than we would even ask of ourselves because we really want to get this stuff resolved. And they're like, I hear they're like, we're sending reinforcements, whether that is a supportive friend or a new romantic partner or a job. Something is going to come in the next eight months that's going to give you the support you need to keep going and to keep doing this work and to keep carrying on the ancestral story. So do not fear. Help is near. Someone in your family line likes to rhyme. Help, do not fear, help is near, and you are dear. Yeah, someone really likes those exact rhyming endings. So hold on to hope. Information is coming your way. You are definitely kind of the chosen one, which I know I'm kind of the chosen one in my family. It's kind of a catch 22, but help is coming. Your ancestors love you dearly. There is someone who you've known in this current lifetime who is now on the other side watching over you. So have faith that you are protected and loved. Anyways, my loves, this is my reading for you. If you liked this format, please let me know. Um, this reading was much more grounded, and now I kind of know that I need to do a little extra grounding before the shorter readings because there's no time to really get into them. It's like off to the races. Also, please like and subscribe as it helps this channel to grow. Also, a big shout out to anyone who has subscribed and who does like my content. I really, really appreciate it. Anyways, my loves, many blessings, and I'll see you in another one of my readings. Bye.